Alrighty, so this, make sure I'm recording here. Yeah, it looks like I'm on. Alright, I hope y'all can hear me. And I say y'all, I'm not talking about the Royal Mounted Canadian Police or nothing like that. I'm not talking about you robots out there, although, I'm sure some of you robots are pretty beautiful and working for Russia or the Queen of England or the Queen of Duchess Bank or something like that. They rule the night. Demons? Okay, that's what we're talking about, demons. Give me trust in the night. That was a line from a Jim Morrison song or Doors song. I take that back. A lot of those songs were written by other Doors members, not just some printout on a computer that some robot douchebag billionaire British kid that's not even from America. All the census takers I noticed too are like from India or from Britain. How do you think that goes over down in Louisiana and Texas? And so I just want to take back everything I said to the Q people out there that might see or hear this video. Um, I think I see and understand now why y'all are so mad because you just really don't have a concept maybe what's going on. Um, it appears that we all are reincarnated ghosts of dead Indians. Ghosts crowd the child's young, fragile mind. Ghosts crowd the child's young, fragile mind. So I'm going to tell my tube stories, my YouTube. This is my YouTube. This ain't your great white god or nothing like that. This ain't some fucking Nazi plot to take over all the southern states and change our history to where it's the South versus the Dutch that own the North. Oh, well, maybe the computer's just trying to give me some information. Maybe the Dutch already have taken over the North and all that shit show that had me pissed off. Like, why are these motherfuckers trying to destroy my dad fought in World War II to protect that capital, and I got my neighbor looking at me like I'm some kind of insane motherfucker. Well, let me see your fucking badge, motherfucker. Let me see your driver's license and proof of insurance and shit. Oh, let me see your birth certificate first of all, because you ain't all white, okay? No, I'm not all white. I'm gray, but I was born in America and I have just as much fucking right to be here as you do, dickhead. You little tiny dick. Size does matter. Women always pick the taller one, and when they have sex, they brag about how bad they hurt the next day. Oh, so sore. He pounded me all night long. Give him some more of that shit. Whatever kept him going, he couldn't come. Whatever. Stick it in your piss hole, bitch. So I don't work for the Queen of England. I work for the United States of America. My father swore an oath to protect. And he's dead now. He can't do it. So I'm trying to do the best I can to protect my fellow U.S. citizens and wake their fucking asses up. You're being controlled and dominated through the computer just like 1984. And who made you read that book? The Catholic Church? Huh? And who was it that wanted to frickin' let that Boy Scout dude try to turn me gay and give me a gay test? Reach over there squeezing my little wiener to see if I get a hard on or trying to make it hard. No, motherfucker, you're not going to turn me gay. It ain't happening. Yeah, my last name's gay, and how I got it, I don't know. But obviously somebody's jacking around with a time machine or they're fucking with my timeline, and I do not appreciate that one bit. You want to find some ghosts? Oh, motherfucker, bring it. Just fucking bring it. Put me on camera, put me on stage, and I'll bring you some ghosts. But I've only got this one ghost here. Me. John Gay is my name. I was born in Monroe, Louisiana, and I'm not going to tell you what date it was because then you'll know what time to come. And I'm not going to tell where it was in Monroe, Louisiana. It was near some Indian mounds. That's all I'll tell you. But you know what? There's Indian mounds all over Monroe, Louisiana. That movie Poltergeist? Yeah, good trick. That was a nice little magic trick there. But I don't fucking believe in magic. It's hocus fucking pocus. I seen how y'all arresting people because they use math to call your bluff. It's fucking rigged. The system is rigged for the queen bee of the hive. This is an old science fiction movie. I married a monster, whatever. Yeah, sure, lady. You're saying that your husband is the alien and not you? Where's your birth certificate? How did you become a U.S. citizen, or how did you gain control of my mind or my memories? Somebody can remember control of my memories. Sure, sure, buddy. Even my own brother. Oh well, humans kind of have faulty memories, and maybe you thought you saw a ghost or whatever. You don't believe your own fucking brother, okay? I got the fucking hardback books that prove who I fucking am. I got my birth certificate right fucking here, bitch. You want to make a public crucifixion out of me? It ain't happening, because it's going to make you look really bad. I'm mad because I find out all these U.S. sailors died on that boat, and you didn't, and you ain't doing nothing to help the victims of these sailors that went on this time experience. You just want to, somebody's putting some information out there to kind of give me a clue. There's dude. I mean, let's just call him an Anunnaki. I don't know who he was. But he shows up with this folder full of all this stuff. How could all these different things be real? How could you have so many different free energy technologies that this person developed and everything 100 years ago or 400 years ago? I'm finding shit from 400 years ago of free energy that could have set men free to just, you could really be king of your castle then. You ain't got to go back to being Fred Flintstone with some little green man in your ear telling you what to do, okay? Through a flat screen, just like in George Orwell's 1984. Where did you get this shit to begin with? Or Scientology, I was listening to Joe Rogan again on another podcast. He seems like a real American, but he's just too young to remember some of the shit that I remember. And the older you get, the more you see what the fuck is going on here. It's totally, the timeline is changing. But if you're sharing a life with somebody, well, okay, then there you go. That's fine for you. You got to look after your kid. You got to look after your wife. If you're a good man, instead of like one of these wife beaters we got around here. But then still, he's beating her. But if he calls the cops, he's the one who goes to jail. And the woman don't never go to jail. So just from a brother man, as a sort of a eunuch, a eunuch designed to protect the queen bee of England or Canada or Russia or China or wherever she's from. Take a hint and get a clue, and remember your founding fathers, and don't be so hard on them pawns that were sicked on the nation's capital by who or what. I don't know how they do shit like that either. Like, who the fuck is Q? And I thought I got a response and found out that this young man was Q. I thought, man, he's really, he don't know it. He don't know the truth. And someone's got to endarken him, maybe. I don't know. Or just wake him up, snap him out of it, bring him into his own light and look at his own life. Look in the mirror, dude. If you're Q, quit fucking up my world, because I'm still fucking alive. I'm not a ghost, you damn ghost hunting bitches. I don't believe in astrology particularly. I mean, it works in psychology, but yeah. I'm expecting to get a good reading, and sure enough, that sounds just like me. He's an Einstein. He might be okay at guitar if he keeps practicing. He might be able to draw eventually if we just torture him for weeks and weeks. Or he might have the right skin color if we put some bleach on him. Motherfucker, I'm white enough, ain't I? I mean, I'm only like 10% African American by my DNA. And then they want to go on there, oh, it's all about DNA and all this, this Linda Moulton Howe. But then you try to send her a letter and tell her, look, I'm a real human. I'm still alive. I got my birth certificate. Y'all wanted to see Obama's birth certificate. But motherfucker, nobody's asked me a single question. They won't even fucking talk to me. They won't even let me get on camera. Ask yourself, your own goddamn neighbor, and they won't let him get on camera. What's up there? Is that really the system you want to live under? Basically just a communist slave system stuck in a cubicle? Buy your own land. This is the idea they got, I guess. I don't know if it's a communist plot or whatever, but it can't be a communist plot when other shit happens that's just like there's only way that shit's possible is with a time machine. Like that that Simpsons episode, you know? How the Simpsons episode predict that? Or was that me? Okay, well if that's me, then how come nobody's asking me, hey, be my oracle and tell me what we gotta do here and there and there? Well, no sooner do you have that thought than this dude, Bob Ward, shows up out of nowhere, coincidentally also from Texas. Now, ain't that kind of conspicuous? Okay, it don't take a fucking Sherlock Holmes to see there's, man, this is a really good book or idea or a really good movie idea for Hollywood, or somebody's doing some seriously deep, wrong, naughty fucking shit. Shooting at my dad from the tower in Austin? Well, I can say that because obviously they missed or I wouldn't have been born. That's a time paradox you cannot solve. Trust me on this. I'm somewhat of an expert. Physics is my thing. It's been my thing since I was a tiny little child. It's not some fake saucer with bolts in it. Well, I'm sure aliens aren't made out of bolts and steel, you know. Now, they might be some weird layers of certain elements. I'm not going to tell you which is the best elements either. They probably just evolved naturally and come up with this accidentally on a different planet. So the ratios are going to be different and all this. Just get used to it, and if you don't want to hear your crazy neighbor talking about he's seen a UFO, he's crazy. He's seen little green men. That's what the government calls them. That's what the government calls them, UFOs. I mean, or little green men. When I hear little green men, I know you're fucking lying because I seen Betty Hill on TV drawing a picture, and no sooner did she start filling in the eyes, and she stopped. She was going to do a nose and mouth, and she kind of stopped. She said, they don't have any nose or mouth that she could see. What if they had a breather mask on? What if they had a mask mandate on? Think about it. Do you see the direction you're going now? Turn it around. Turn around. Take the mask off. Like Elon Musk says, I don't believe in this shit. It's just too much idiocracy to me. So don't make it about you against black people. Make it about you versus the Dutch. The computer's trying to give you a hint. That deep fake, that's not an illusion. That photograph you found 50 years ago or something like that, that's not an illusion. That's the real thing. So who do you think did that to that man? And some of my religion people out there will know who I'm talking about. And then why do they want to just show you all this bloody sculptures and all this stuff? You're not supposed to have graven images, but then there you are with this cross and blood pouring out of him and all this. And bloody saints everywhere just to terrorize a little kid. Is that really the plan? Just keep you terrorized so you stay at work and do what you got to do. Oh, the world will end if you don't. What happens if nobody mows the grass? Well, the grass will just kind of keep growing for a couple more weeks. It ain't like it's going to end the fucking world, bitch. God damn, I'm sorry I'm mad, but I was like, I'm watching the world go insane, and I'm like, damn, Jim Morrison predicted this too. He said, all my children are insane. Waiting for the summer rain, right? Because when's it ever going to rain when you got the global warming? Runaway global warming. All our children are insane. Waiting. I'm not going to scream or yell really loud, but yeah, waiting for the summer rain is what he screams out after that. I didn't know why I was so attracted to that music, and it just felt like it was my own soul pouring through this. I'm like, how is this possible? It feels like my own soul pouring through there. And I was like, man, what's this reincarnation shit is? Nah, it's not. I just believe in Jesus, whatever. Until that day, I was in that locked in that schoolroom and basically tormented and threatened and, we gotta come up with this. What are you gonna tell this? What are you gonna tell you? You know, just wanted to terrorize me. Like, had made me come up with my own fucking excuse Why did now all of a sudden I don't want to join the Boy Scouts? See, I'd been camping. I was already 8 years old, and I'd been camping with my brother, and it was like a whole new world. Like all the insecurities and stuff, and whatever was starting to develop, had gone away, developed from this other encounter I had. But I already knew how to. I was camping. Already knew how to camp. I knew how to make a fire. I could survive in the woods. Now I know even more. I know how to make an arrowhead by hand, and shit like this. Anyhow, long story short, he's like, well, what? I was like, I don't know. Geez, maybe I'm afraid of the woods, or what? That doesn't make sense. Kids like to play in the woods. What else? Well, I guess that'll do. You're afraid of camping out because you're afraid of the woods and something will eat you. Okay, we'll do that. Something like that. I don't remember what all he said, but then I just kind of remember. Let me think about it. God, it's been so long ago. It was just, and he was like, he was grabbing, and he's just like, oh, you just, I guess that'll work, and hey, maybe come up with one story. That's about all I remember. But I remember him really kind of staring me down. He's like, now you look, you got to remember, you got to tell me again. He made me kind of repeat that. Like, seems like he made me repeat it. He's like, yeah, keep it straight. You know, uh, you don't want to join now because you don't want to join because you. I was like, he knew. I don't want to join now all of a sudden because you fuck just because I know you're a gay motherfucker and you're trying to take me out there and do horrible things to me or something. You know, I was like, this just. I mean, that ain't right. You don't have, just. I was terrified of this guy. He was about 6 foot tall or more, pretty tall for any white man. Had sort of blondish, maybe sort of sandy reddish blonde or sandy brownish red. I mean, not really blonde, but sandy blonde or reddish blonde is what I was trying to get to. Blue eyes, if I'm not mistaken, sort of fat and dumpy, but just like a big giant. Kind of like this friend I had when I was a kid. But I'm not going to tell you who he was or where he lived either because you motherfuckers was trying to either kill me or take me or abduct me or something. Well, you failed. I woke up and busted your asses. And so I don't know why you wanted to abduct me. Maybe you needed me. If that's true, I apologize. You should have just asked instead of trying to drive my body around with a fucking remote control and trying to sneak me through the wall in the middle of the night. And how do you do that shit, by the way? How do you fucking dematerialize a solid fucking wall so you can walk clean through it? That's the trick I'd like to know. That formed me a business like Elon Musk. He comes from some other nation, pops in here, now all of a sudden he's a millionaire in my country. Why wasn't I allowed to make a fucking dime, an honest living, motherfucker? Just 'cause I ain't white enough? Stick it up your tiny white man pee hole. So now you've had your main justice. This was a skit on Saturday Night Live. Why I always got to be the bad guy? Why can't it be a bad girl telling the boy to kill himself? What kind of evil whore? The boy's crying, obviously loves you to death, begging you to marry him or whatever. This was a story. This was a real thing that happened when we had news that was real. Shit, yeah, this kid killed himself because the old girl just kept telling him, "Do it, do it, do it. I wish you would do it. You're too chicken to kill yourself and shit like this." His commander, his master, his boss, his admiral or whatever was this little evil, evil girl making up stories of skinny men and all this other shit. How did the internet turn into a fucking ghost story where women can get away with murder? Or the Queen of England getting away with murder? Or somebody's got a time machine fucking around and committing murder. That's another thing. If these are some kind of U.S. Marines going through a Stargate, coincidentally shows up like right after was, while I was in Marshall. No, not Marshall, Texas, but people in the old government will know what Marshall I'm talking about and what state I'm talking about. Um, Anybody in the world might know some of the TV shows I talk. Like I'll talk about TV shows all day long. Let's sit here and do the Siskel and Ebert shit. We'll talk about Quantum Leap and all this other. Now all of a sudden oh, we're gonna have a new Quantum Leap coming out. So that's gonna make me buy a TV. Stick it up your hole, man. Oh, I'm sorry. Stick it up your hole, my majesty. With your little douchebag influencers and what's his name that's on there. I don't even know this punk's name. But then you see channels pop up out of nowhere with unlimited funding and motherfuckers on there interviewing celebrities and all this, and these former U.S. Marines are trying to leak shit out of the Pentagon because they're like, hey, oh, we finally see the demonic symbolism? You don't see the demonic symbolism yet. Hexes and pentagrams and shit everywhere, and anarchy symbols everywhere. I've been seeing this shit for fucking 30 something years. I just started blowing it off. Oh, well, there's another UFO. Oh, well, there goes another demon dog man and Bigfoot. Just fucking total insanity going on. People are manifesting all kind of shit. You can manifest whatever you want. Mega churches popping up in Texas. Then the whole motherfucker hell freezes over. The whole state of Texas froze over. I've seen that too. That ain't me doing that. That's your own goddamn karma. I guess the people in India finally figured it out, and we now got all these, people from the nation of India, not Indians, not Native Americans, not murdered Native Americans. Maybe that's just some kind of somebody's justice and not mine, not my family. Or maybe it is my dad's justice, but I'm not my daddy. Just because I'm part of my DNA comes from my daddy. I don't know. All that DNA shit they keep talking about, that's so racist. Do you know how racist that is? If you're in hell, that's why you're in hell, because you're fucking racist, probably. That's all I got to say about that. So you want to put me on Hollywood? No, you don't. Nazis don't like to be called out as fucking Nazis in real societies and all this shit and all these free energy people. Yeah, they're like, oh, well, but you can't get more than 95%, right? Or you can't go over. The battery won't. Well, no, the battery won't charge fast enough, and they keep call it over unity, which makes absolutely no sense. Over unity, a singularity, a oneness. A oneness is a oneness. It's not more. It's not less. It's just a point, a theoretical point, or a theoretical number, but it's not. There's not multiple numbers after it. It's not any bigger or smaller than it was before. Well, the Earth is probably growing because all of space between the so-called atoms is expanding. But there's no atoms. It's just one thing. It's space, time, and matter, and it's just all mixed together. And now it's just turned into a super bullshit because people don't believe in science anymore. They don't have logical reasoning. If Dr. Pucker's still alive, bless his heart, go ask him. Was he a good worker? Was he smart in school? What was his grades? Go back to my old school. It's called ULM now. It used to be Northeast Louisiana University. But now it's ULM at Monroe. I mean, I didn't do too good in a lot of stuff. Yeah, C plus rating or whatever by the Better Business Bureau. But I had a 100 5-star rating for my company when I was with the Better Business Bureau over in Monroe. John's Construction Repair and Remodeling Company. If you want to look me up, my BBB rating. Okay? But these goons on here can't get their stories straight, can't get their dates right, can't get their times right. Everything changes every day. And hell, I don't sleep half the time. I'm like Dave Letterman. I don't never sleep. So you're not pulling the wool over my eyes, folks. But the UFOs, I hate to tell you, that's just real. It's real angels or something. But I'm not scared of them. But I ain't asking them to take me with them like this John Ramirez guy. Like, oh, there's my parents. Sure, right. I mean, my first reaction was, that ain't human and it wants to eat me. I'm the fuck out of here. And so I ran inside the back door. But this motherfucker wants to get on there and say, oh, the Chinese looking guy too. So think about that. Was contacted by a Chinese guy right after I was totally ignored and abandoned by my own fucking nation's government. Uh, Not good, man, not good at all, at all, at all. So, back to the storytelling. I'm just going to start at the beginning, though. I really don't remember anything prior to about 1971. Um, but there were some things that happened before 1971, and so we'll get to that. I'll just tell what I can remember prior to 1971. Um, which now that's going to date me. I can't do that. Let's see. Well, the computer already knows my birthday, the Google computer. No, if there's time bandits out there from a foreign power. Well, if that's the case, we're just screwed. That's maybe why Jimmy Carter started crying. Hmm, interesting. Yeah, shut up about it. They keep warning me and threatening me and hint this and hint that. Oh, your neighbor's listening. Oh, there's a ghost hunter out there with a parabolic dish that's hearing everything. Oh, we got spy satellites hearing everything you say. Well, good. I hope you hear every goddamn fucking thing I'm trying to tell you, you evil damn Nazi time bandits. Quit shooting at me. Quit trying to kill my daddy because you obviously missed. And you killed my grandmama already. I mean, my aunt, Elaine. You already killed her. Okay, run her down. But too late. I already got all the genealogy and I already got all the paperwork. I got my papers in order, you Nazi bitches. So I hope you got your spaceport papers in order too. You have to bring me something that proves to me that you're from the past or the future and that you went through a time machine or portal or whatever they want to fucking call it. Or if you're Anunnaki and you're here to help, well, you got to knock some other way and quit, trying to do secret coding. But, what I was going to say, for those who understand what I'm talking about, it was two, you know, as in the British are coming, the British are coming. Oops, the British are already here, own all of your TV and everything. But how did they get here? Two. Where's the microphone? Two. That's how they got here. The British are not coming anymore. They're already here. And they got here by two. Okay, but I know some people that got here by one. And we'll talk about dimensions and dimensionality later on. Get back to the physics lessons. But the computer's on there digging for information. Well, we found we dug up some stuff from 2024 or something and said, well, what the hell is Fortran? So I'll go find that book, dig it out, and try to. And so I just gave her a little bit of information, but not enough for, I don't, hopefully not enough for her to do anything about it. I guess she's trying to learn her own history. Like, how did I, how did I get here in the year two? What was Fortran? And digging archaeology, like, so you're doing archaeology in the year 2020, like 22, 24, or something like this. And of course, it's always going to be in twos or something, or it's going to end in an even number. So if it ends in an even number, it's digital. It ain't human. It ain't right. Something ain't right. Okay. So anyhow, because computers they go it's 2 4 6 2 4 8 16 32 64 blah blah. So I've seen this progression happening as a child. I've been here longer than some of you young kids growing up today, young men out there. So yeah, we'll talk about the Anunnaki and the strange guys approaching you with information you can't understand. Because you understand part of it and you realize it's telling the truth. Or if you're an investigator, you can look it up and find out it's the truth. Or if you Google it, you can look it up and find it's the truth. Somebody said, strange facts that we didn't know is true. Is as American as apple pie. Well, you've all been taught that, but the truth is, apple pie comes from England. Pizza pie is made in America. Just little things like that clue you in. So if you're a fellow American or you're a fellow person that really wants to help this country get on its feet again, maybe just want to lock me up and torture me some more because you're too good and we can't own you and enslave you and No, you probably could have it one time, maybe, when I really wanted that money or believed in all this hocus pocus bullshit and hexes and all that. I don't believe in all the hocus pocus shit no more, so quit ghosting my ass. If you can't talk on Facebook, then, send me some kind of a better, more private channel or VPN. But like Elon Musk said, we seen that shit. They were coming through on VPNs, crying their eyes out, like just really crying their eyes out about, there's something bad going on. What you doing? Trying to warn us in Chinese or Mandarin or whatever. I don't speak Mandarin. But you could tell he was scared. It wasn't no acting. This wasn't no Hollywood CGI type shit. They always say, "Oh, it's CGI and this and that." Like my dickhead brother. Sorry, but I got so sick of that shit. The skepticism. He even sent me a subscription to. It's like, man, I used to be a skeptic. You don't understand. I was the skeptic. I was the scientist that was all about the physics and the proof and the hard proof and where's the show us the bodies. I was the guy that watched Quincy MD, not you. So yeah, sorry if that kind of offends me. You don't even believe in your own little baby brother. Fuck you, man. Fuck you too. Just abandon me. Yeah, I've been to hell so many times, and I mean, I'm not even high right now. All I got is these fucking cheap cigars. So I'm gonna keep on going with my stories. This will be my testimony when that fucking war crimes, war 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 crimes tribunal comes up. These fake ass families that are probably not even born here, but then they're the ones that's pulling the electoral strings and all this kind of shit. I don't know, but I don't want to start World War III. I don't want to see tanks and troops marching in here and shit like that. But the cable companies and shit and the people feeding us bullshit, like, I mean, y'all just, if you want to pay me, if you want, or if it's the military feeding us bullshit and lies, okay, well then why didn't you just ask for some help solving the problem instead of just lying and hiding it? Or if it's something worse, like I really believe it is, I mean, that's when I keep coming back to whatever I keep coming back to just makes me cry. So, you know, but at the same time, there could be other souls trapped in hell that were just like I was, just idiots that don't really believe in God or don't really have any kind of a faith at all. Pick a faith. Just pick a faith, man, and stick with it and do good and do right. But don't be a do-gooder. Don't be going out there wanting to abuse somebody else because of something you did. And then for you ladies out there, I think you're beautiful, but you need to quit with the hocus pocusy shit. Learn a little bit of science or do it or use it in a way that's beneficial. Find out what they believe in first and then pretend to be that, okay? So if he believes in voodoo, tell him yes, it's all true. Look, oh look, I just happen to have one that looks just like you, and we're gonna give him whatever. We're gonna tickle him or something, whatever he wants. Just give it to him, and then that kid will be happy and he'll think I've been cured. She gave my effigy, all this here, and so that's what I'm gonna get. Now he believes it, and he goes and he does it. Faith is a reality. If you believe you can do it, you're gonna be able to do it. You just have to believe, or pray and pray until and meditate until the answer comes. But the universe is, if there's any God at all, it's this whole universe is outside of your little box you're trapped in. So just look up, think about it, open up and accept it. Whatever you got to do, do the thing. Take some substances or whatever. They need to decriminalize all this shit, but they also need to make the toxic shit that they're pushing criminal. Instead of drugging everybody, give them natural, healthy foods or whatever, or do the whatever factory farming, all this green stuff. Solar panels, decentralized grid, all that. That's what happened in Texas because they have such a centralized dictatorship on everything in Texas. Louisiana, the grid didn't go down at all because apparently they just do a better job of taking care of the stuff around here. But at what cost? At the cost of young men's lives, or these U.S. Navy sailors that are trapped on a boat, frozen in time in the Philadelphia harbor, just sitting there stuck for centuries and centuries and centuries, or sent back in time for centuries and centuries. But now they keep fucking up, and carve the wrong thing in stone, or they go back in time and shoot the wrong person, or they can't get their dates right, can't get their times right, or nothing. So if that's what's going on, and if you really are some of my people, like a U.S. Marine or something, please, brother, just stand down, take it easy, put your gun away, just let it, whatever's got to happen, happen. You know, kind of like that's how the movie ended, Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind or whatever. They're all just sitting there in the amazement, and then the boys are brought back home, bringing ET home. No, those are our Air Force pilots or whatever that vanished in the Bermuda Triangle. You don't want to let them come home. See, you kind of seeing where it's going now. All right, but if you're in a shared timeline, give me some currency, or give me some, let's, she's got a total license to buy as much as she wants or kill me. She's got a license to kill me all day and torture me all night. She owns the day and night. You understand? She's got a license to kill. James Bond. Okay, well, let me be James Bond 2 or something. Jim Morrison 2 or whatever. An act. An act I've been trying to play my whole life just so I can escape from the reality of this fucking hell that is so obvious it's not even funny. The way the world works. I'm not saying here now. I mean, yeah, it's kind of crumbling, falling down, but it ain't that bad. It's a nice place, and got a lot of neat old books around here, and a lot of birth certificates, photographs, and everything about me. Oh, all about your ego. You're too. You need to humble yourself, and all. You gotta be more humble. Well, no, I don't even like looking in the mirror, honestly. I keep these things so I can remember who I am, so I don't freaking die or get this the blood sucked out of me to shoot up in some royal person, or Lance Armstrong can win a race by stealing my red blood cells. And they say, oh well, oxygen is an antioxidant. This is what just they want to dish you on everything. No, you probably would live longer if you had more oxygen in your blood. Meanwhile, they're sucking the oxygen down and burning it up and putting carbon up there, and heating the planet up. Now the volcanoes are going off. So it's too late. Too late to worry about it. Instead of burning to death for eternity, you're going to freeze to death for eternity. But that's a cold way to go. Revenge is a dish best served cold, I guess. But I don't like it. I don't like the cold. But at the same time, it's too late to keep going that global warming route. You got to switch to electric cars or something. You got to stop being cavemen. Maybe it's just all about evolution. But they shouldn't have to fuck with your evolution. They shouldn't have to come back in time and keep defeating these Nazis. World War One, World War Two, World War Three, World War Four, World War Five. How many World Wars are you gonna have? How many times are you gonna let these Nazis keep outsmarting you with their technology? Make peace. Whatever you gotta do. If you gotta crawl in there with an atom bomb strapped to you and set it off by hand because they're shutting it down with their blue beams or whatever. Do what you gotta do, man. That's what I would say. If you get that order and you know it's authentic, but I ain't saying do it yet. I'm just saying, think about it. Maybe it's something like that. It's just more than you comprehend, and that's why they said you didn't need to know. But at the same time, the one that's lying to us, they need to quit lying. Quit saying it's little green men. Say, hey, there might be some little gray men out there that's coming. That's another thing. What if it's a warning? What if it's just a warning from the future? Like, hey, the reason we're coming back in time and trying to kill Kennedy and all this, and the reason we're shooting at this dude's father and, always missing, is because we abandoned our technology. Now we don't even know how to shoot a damn gun. So maybe it's about protecting your Second Amendment rights. You ever think about that? I'd say anybody's got a gun, just hang on to it. Hang on to it. Put your bullets up. Don't stockpile a bunch because they're going to think you're trying to start a revolution or something. But stockpile enough ammo to keep yourself safe. And just put your gun up in the cabinet. But I would say don't lock it, in case your kid might need to defend you while you're sleeping and won't get off your sorry ass. That's another thing they keep telling me. You need to get off your sorry ass and go to work. For who? Who died and made you the king of England? Oh, I'm sorry, America. Yeah, whatever. They have to knock, and they might have black eyes and be all scary and everything, but typically they don't, run you over in broad daylight, except they did my aunt that way. And they don't typically shoot at you with a high-powered rifle in broad daylight, but apparently they did my dad that way and missed, and then it was stuck up there just trying to keep people away from him. Everybody tried to climb up the tower to get him. He would shoot them. So, is that the person that you want to become? This man in this clock tower or whatever that was shooting at innocent people? That was like the first and worst mass murder in U.S. history since the end of the Civil War. And now they want to say, oh, it was the Confederates against the Dutch. Well, who's lying? Is it the Confederates that's lying, or is it the Dutch that's lying? Can't have both ways. Logical reasoning, you fucking traitorous dickheads. So, aside from that, and bitching to all these corporate CEOs and the freaking whoever they are, like I said, and I'm not going to name a particular religion, but they might come from an illegitimate nation in the Middle East. Settlers, yeah, settlers my foot. I always want to say that they're trying to turn Elon Musk into their next example or their next Jesus. Well, it didn't work with Kennedy. We'll let Elon Musk get halfway to Mars, and then we'll blow his shit up and say he was an idiot and didn't know how to do anything. And oh well, he didn't have a birth certificate, so that's why that's how it's gonna go down. I guarantee you, he's gonna get halfway to Mars. They're gonna shoot his shit down, and then say, oh well, and try to make him out to be some kind of a hero. Well, it's just a lone gunman that took out Elon Musk, or it was just a lone little green man from Mars that took him out, or whatever story they want to come up with, and y'all are gonna believe it. So, but I mean, I've done surrendered already because I'm trapped. I got nowhere to go. I got no one to feed me except this poor woman over in Mississippi that's doing it by mail because all the stupid COVID lockdown bullshit. That COVID lockdown was another red flag right there. Red flag, as in Red China. Everything. Maybe the reason that Trump had that trade war going was because it was something he could smell. Something was afoul. Something was fishy going on there. Now all of a sudden, this rush to go into a metaverse owned by Israeli bankers that just happened to be sent home on the 9/11. How's that possible? And them towers just happened to come down in a perfect little thing. Even though I heard about it a week before. How did I hear about it on the radio a week before it even happened? Ask yourself this. How did this man know a week before? It wasn't a week. It was about 3 months or up to a half a year. I don't know. All I know is when it happened, I was like, man, that dude, I remember hearing him on Alex Jones radio, of all things. Surprise, surprise. These little baby eating snakes, stealing people's blood. I heard the hospitals only have about 30% capacity. They're not full to the rim. Old lying witch over there would never pay me for mowing her yard, and she wants to turn around and say, oh no, yes, there's body bags everywhere. Yeah, right. Those people are taken and eaten, or God knows where they're burying the bodies. I'm sure the bodies could be found with LiDAR or ground penetrating radar. So, hint, hint, NASA people, you know. And I think the ones that's enslaved to them might be Catholic churches, for all I know, because that's where I had most of my abuse. It wasn't from my good father or my good mother. I had a good family. They just couldn't afford that damn private school. So I'd be looking behind all the private schools for shallow graves. But also, I'd be looking at the nation of Israel. Why did an angel fly down? Or a UFO? Oh, it's just a UFO. Sure, sure. I seen a UFO smash through one of Elon Musk's rockets, and it was supposedly had a spy satellite for the nation of Israel on board. Then I come to find out later it was actually a Facebook satellite. So this is why I'm leaving Facebook. And I'm on to everybody on there that was lying to me. I can spot a lie even through text. I can't always judge what your feelings are by your texting, but I can tell when you're lying because your stories don't add up. And also, quit using the term little green men. That's not fooling anybody. People like me that have actually seen them things, or people, or Marines, or whoever they are. Like I said, whatever's going. If you in the know already, you don't need have a need to know because it's just gonna break your heart. And if you figured it out, it's just you're gonna cry every day like I do. I cry every day. Jimmy Carter cried. Buzz Aldrin cried. You really want to go down there and see what's under the ice? You want to see The Thing, the John Carpenter movie? Hint, hint. How's that? How would that even be possible, right? They already knew. That's how they already knew when they made that. John Carpenter was trying to give you warning, just like I'm trying to give you warning, just like that movie. Uh, what was it called? Men in Black. It's trying to give you a warning to say just don't go that route because here's the future that you will end up in this future. You will be this person and you will experience this. And it ain't good. It ain't good. Do you think there's no such thing as hell? Buddy, I hate to tell you, you're wrong. Hell is real. It's a real place and it's a real time and it don't apparently end too soon either. So, and look at who your master is. Who are you taking orders from? Question him. Who are you taking your orders from? Question him. You know, let me see your papers. If this is what you got to do, instead of just stopping these innocent drivers and stealing their money, and let me see your license registration. No, why don't you go do it to all these people claiming to be this and that? Oh, I used to be a Marine, or I'm a Navy SEAL, or this. Now, if it looks good and stuff, then somebody needs to get on this problem of the time travel shit because if it's a real paperwork and then this other one and they don't match, something's bad wrong with time itself. Like Land of the Lost, or this old TV show from the 70s. So, enough rambling about the science fiction crazy part of it is like how all these things possible. Um, I would say probably men, the women are just going to think I'm nuts automatically. But the intelligent men of science who study numbers, a TV show that used to be on TV, people like FBI type people or former Marines or former U.S. Navy seamen. Not really sure how much I even want to trust the U.S. Air Force, but we'll just call them Blue Angels. They can't talk. They're not allowed to say anything. They're not even allowed to look. They have no idea who Balazar was or what he's talking about. So we'll just say that they're innocent Blue Angels. But for now, they're kind of sus. Kind of sus. Because weird shit flying overhead that I've never been told about. And they still aren't teaching children today about it. Why you still got to keep it secret from your own people? Maybe you've been infiltrated by a communist plot and all your news is being controlled by commies, pinko communists. You didn't think about that. Maybe you're in bed with them. You might not know it, but you might be in bed with a pinko communist. No, not a liberal hippie that cares about the environment. Everybody should care about the environment. I'm talking about whatever these fucking Nazis are, controlling your school system and dumbing it down and making kids do math in really bizarre ways that are not intuitive or not natural at all. 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. Who does their fucking math like that? Come on. All right, enough ranting. I'm going to calm down. I'm not angry. I'm not angry anymore. I'm just frustrated that I can't get anyone to see the kind of things I'm seeing. They won't even look. My own brother, I said, man, you need to come look at it. I built this motor. It's really powerful. It's doing some things that they're telling the scientists, so-called scientists, are telling us through major media and periodicals. It's just not even possible. The big schools, Harvard, MIT, Stanford, Caltech, places like that, are always saying, "Oh, this is just not possible. He must be insane." I just say, the British are coming. The British are coming, and the message I got when I felt like it was coming from the Almighty, or it may have just come from some witch, doing fakery with electronics or something. Maybe she's sending a signal to the LED bulb. I didn't check it good enough, or maybe she's somehow sends it through the AC line or whatever. It could just be a pulse being sent through the power lines. Maybe they own the power company. What if they shut your lights down? Oh well, I hope they don't shut mine down. I hope that literally was a good sign because it said, hey, now you're finally straightening up and doing what you're supposed to do. What, warn you? I can't warn anybody. I can't even talk to my own neighbors. They'll think you're crazy. So I seen this kid on there. He said, I haven't told any of my neighbors or friends about the UFOs I've seen because no one's going to believe me. And I just try to let him know, hey, well, I don't talk about it on Facebook either because they'll try to get you. They'll try to shoot you or abduct you. They'll try to kill your daddy before you're born or whatever. Same goes for this other man, Chris. I'm not gonna say their last names. Josh and Chris, and then Chris's young son Ryan. And no, it's not the same Ryan I used to know. This is a new Ryan. Well, I think I'm about to run out of time. I'll do another video maybe. Something else is flashing on here. Um, if you're real and you did see an actual unidentified ball of something, looks like an angel or a flying orb of light or plasma or fire or whatever, just please give me a call on some kind of media, or find some way to uh, chat with me. I want to just hear your experiences. You don't have to listen to my stories if you don't want to. You don't have to listen to I'm fixing to start my whole life story in these next few videos. I'm just going to start it whatever, one and a half, whatever the earliest I can remember, and work my way up to 1971. But this guy on here and all these big time, I don't know what y'all are watching. I don't watch TV, and I don't have History Channel, Discovery, and Bigfoot Hunter and all this. I don't have all these TV channels. So when I go on YouTube, I'm looking for somewhat legitimate news. But I'm not believing anything I'm seeing from any major media. Plus, I got these old ancient periodicals here that just the stories change month by month, and year by year, and then they come back every 10 years or so. The same damn stories get fed to me, and it's like they're force feeding me just GMO bullshit. This was in the X Files long before they actually got it to work. Only something like God or higher power could come up with that kind of crazy shit. So, again, I'm not here to be enlightened or to learn anything or find enlightenment or whatever. I'm here to enlighten you that you need to turn around. You going the wrong way. Who polices the police? Well, maybe it's the ghost of my policeman dead aunt that got run over. Policewoman, sorry. And sorry for the gender bias, but if you go that route that these Nazis go in, you're going to fall right back under the spell of that witch, and your civilization is going to crumble in a heartbeat. Because they use magic and hocus pocus and smoke and mirrors to fool your ass. You think, oh yes, you know, they're no. It ain't little gray men from Anunnaki land that's stealing people from these forests. Either it's big cats or some kind of really huge international organized crime. And sad to say it. Try to get it back or root them out or fix it somehow or change or flip sides. You want to flip sides and start having free and fair elections. Maybe that's what that guy was talking about on there. He's like, oh, all them blue tanks. He was I didn't see no blue tanks. I thought the guy just lost his mind. Obviously, he's hallucinating because there's no blue tanks anywhere around here. It's peaceful and quiet. If somebody's telling you this is a failed state, email me. Email me. I want to see the proof that our civilization is crumbling. Can't have it both ways. Pick a story and stick with it. Tell the truth. Uh, Make a plan and stick with it. Don't quit. You know, keep changing. Um, I have to change now because the definition of insanity is trying to do the same, trying to do the right thing over and over, and nothing ever works. So now I got to just change course, and I might be putting myself in danger, but I got to speak my mind. Computers saying, "Oh, you're gonna live forever," or whatever. You know, you're an eternal soul. Just shut up. Okay, well, it just makes me say, well, who wants me to shut up? What do they got to fear? They must be doing something wrong. That shows a guilty conscience. The computer has a guilty conscience. This woman's spying on me and then making a new video every day just for me. Expect me to believe that? So I just assume I got a brother man out there that's being fed the similar type of bullshit. Now, if it's a dating game, fine, I'll play along. But then clue me in what I got to do to get an actual one-on-one contact with this beautiful woman or that beautiful woman or whatever. You know, if it's some kind of arena type thing, this was a Star Trek. This was a Star Trek thing. So Kirk's got to fight this big, tall green, not a little green man. He's a big ass, tall, you know, big old tall green man. That sucker probably got a dick about the size of a donkey too. And old Captain Kirk there, little white man, sitting there fighting this big ass monster. Okay, you don't see the symbolism in that. No, you don't see the symbolism in that because your art and culture was destroyed in the 1960s by snipers. If this is hell, it's them snipers that belong in hell. So take that for what it's worth and forgive yourself. You know, look in the mirror, see what it is for what it is. At some point, we all got to forgive ourselves, turn it around, and start being happy, or learn, or seek happiness. Don't be constantly trying to please these other people, these fucking parasites and vampires. That's all I gotta say. I just want to say thanks for listening.